Hi guys, welcome to our book club. Today it will be the first session of this 2024 for the beginners level book. And as you may see, our book is called Oliver and the Seawigs. It is a book written and illustrated by two British authors, which names are Sarah McIntyre and Philip Reeve, which you may know because of one of his books that is called Mortal Engine, which has a movie adaptation that right now it is on Netflix. So, without anything else to say, let's just start. Well guys, welcome back. Once I have connected the other screen and now we can see the book, let's just start discussing about it. So as you may see on your screen, you have the cover of the book. The cover, it's a very eye-catching because it has too much blue and then red and then black, and it seems that it would be quite dangerous adventure because of the red in the cover. And then it says monkeys, mermaid islands with wigs. I don't know if you know what is a wig, but remember that people who don't have hair on their heads, they usually use like fake hair, which is called a wig. So let's just start with our reviewing context and vocabulary, and after it, remember that our session where we will discuss the chapters, the characters, and moreover it will be on Saturday the 27th from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. So once I have said that, let's just begin. This is the cover. As you may see, we have the two authors, we have an image of Oliver, so let's just begin. So as you may see, here in our book, we have a very brief warning. And this warning says, if this adventure is undertaken far too lightly, the reader hereby dismisses the authors from all responsibility for ultimately death or injury to drawing, kidnapping by sea monkeys, or general unexpected disappearances. So it says that it's a very complete warning, and it's just warning us that it will be an adventure full of dangers, as I commented. And it is very important that you start looking, very carefully at the pictures you can see in the book, because it also illustrates, part of what it says. So here we have some pictures of Oliver when he was very young. And as you may see, his parents are explorer, so the pictures are, were taken in different places. So let's just move. Here we have a little bit more, but pay attention because it illustrates some vocabulary that they use in the text later on. For example, here you have the baby carriage, and here you have the bag holder, I'm pretty sure, or the bag carrier, it is called. So here you have the bag carrier. It is like a backpack where you put your baby, and this is the baby carriage, the one you are just pushing. So once I have said that, let's just continue. We have here Not So Impossible Tales, Oliver and the Seawigs, and then it says that Cake in the Space, it will be coming soon. I am pretty sure that the book is already on sale because this book was released a little bit, some years in the past, some years ago. So let's just begin. We have here the title, and we have another important picture. So I don't know if you remember that during the lecture they talk about a car. They don't mention a car, they call it the Explorer Mobile. So that is the Explorer Mobile, okay? So every time they mention the Explorer Mobile, it is this one, okay? So let's just continue. We have some information about the book, and then we have the index. You already know how the chapters will be divided. So let's just continue with chapter number 1. Oh, here we have the dedication and number 1. So here it is, like a picture of Oliver, and we have the introduction that it says that Oliver is 10 years old and their parents are explorer. So here we continue, and we can see here, and then continue with the lecture. It says that his mother and his father, they met in a mountain. And here it says, They had met on the top of Mount Everest. Then they get married in the lost temple of Amun-Hotep. And then it says that they had their honeymoon for searching elephants' graveyards. Graveyards, it is this place where the body of people who pass away rest in peace. Remember that in this graveyard you have tombs which you like dig, then you put the body and then you just like bury the body. So that is a graveyard, a cementerio. So here they are talking about an elephant's graveyard. So un cementerio de elefantes, sorry. And then it says, when Oliver was born, they didn't want to stop their adventure, so the only thing they did, it was to, like the bag carrier and the baby carriage that we have it here. It says, here, the bag carrier and the baby carriage, and went right on exploring. So they didn't care about having a baby. They love adventures and they continue with them. It says here, but at last there came a day when Mr. and Mrs. Crisp realized there was just nothing left to explore. So they already finished with everything they could explore. They had trekked to the headwaters of all great rivers. So trek it is, like they went, they explored, they walked towards, like that place. And the headwaters, it will be the place where the water is coming, where the water is born. So it will be in the mountains. And then it says they stood on the summits of unconquered mountains. So this is the summit, the peak. And it says, thanks to them, the lost city of Propacopaket was lost no longer. The mystery of Mokele Mambe marshes had been solved. There were no more blank spaces left on the map. So here it's just telling, reinforcing the idea that Oliver's parents, they have explored everything in the world. So right now they don't have anything else to explore, and that's why they are a little bit worried, I guess. So let's just continue. Here we have a picture of Oliver's parents. Let me just move. It is better. And it says that after they discovered they didn't have anything to explore, they just decided to go home. So it says that they start packaging their belongings and the Explorer mobile and drove home to the house that they owned but had hardly ever lived in, by Deep Waters Bay. So Deep Waters Bay, it would be the place where their house is located, and it says, near the little seaside town of St. Paul Rocks. No more exploring for us, they told each other sadly. It's time we settle down. So it's time we just, settle down, that we just stay in one place, that we settle down. That is establecerse, So let me just, continue moving, and then it says, in this case, Oliver is so excited to be at home because it says that he likes adventures, but come on, he also wants his room, he wants to have friends. He says that he doesn't have time for anything because all the time they are involved in adventures. So here it says, Oliver wasn't sad though. That is though. That is an expression that it means aunque, and most of the times it goes at the end. So it says, Oliver wasn't sad though. He was excited. He was tired of living the explorer's life. The house was coming home to was one he'd only seen on vacations, brief 2-week breaks before fresh expeditions. So it says that he is so excited to be at home because most of the times he's not. It says that he just visited his home like 2 weeks before every adventure, and he's tired. He's excited to be at home. So it says here, it says that he doesn't have friends, he doesn't have time to go to school, and he doesn't have a proper room, his own room. So he says, he thought it would be exciting to have a whole house to live in, and wake up every day to the same view. At Deepwater Bay, he would have his own bedroom and he would be starting next term at the school in St. Rocks. So it says that, like he's so excited because he will do things that he hasn't done yet. So it says he perched between his parents as mom. He perched between his parents as mom steered the Explorer mobile carefully along the winding lanes. So here, he perched. Well, imagine that they are already in the car. And then we have the mom who is, like driving. It says steer because steer is, like the steer wheel. You are moving it. So steering, it is also steer, it is also conducir. But in other contexts, it will be remover. So just remember that steer. And imagine the mom is driving and then we have, like a little space and then the co-pilot seat. Well, Oliver is just there in the middle between his mom and his dad. And it says he perched between his parents. Él se sentó, se encaramó, like he was there. And his mom was driving carefully along the winding lines. So what is a winding line? Wind, it is retorcer. It is very similar to wind, but wind it is the air. And wine it is retorcer. It is, I don't have a watch, but when your watch doesn't have battery, in some cases, you just wind it. Okay? And it works. So here is the same. It is not like le dio cuerda or anything like that, but it means that it's not straight. So winding, like very curveados, retorcido. And lane, obviously, like they are driving in the roadway, so we have one lane that goes and one lane that comes. So the lane. And, it says he was waiting for the moment when Deepwater came inside, when they can look at it. It's not a very pretty house, his mother reminded him. It's really rather old and creaky and the windows blow right through it. So the mom is telling, Oliver like, hey, you shouldn't be so excited. Like at the end, it's an old house. It creaks. And every time the wind blows, it's making noises. So here the only thing I consider you may not understand clearly, it will be creaky. And creak, it is a noise. So it says that it's old. So imagine you are in an old house like in the movies and when you step on the floor, it creaks. It makes a noise. And then you step again and it makes another noise. So it is just that, creaky, that rechina, like hace ruido. And then it says, I need lots of work, but we never found the time or the money. There's not a lot of money in exploring. So it says that, Oliver's parents, they never had time to fix their house, or they didn't have money either for doing it. So let's just move, and it says, okay, said Oliver, but he didn't stop feeling excited. They came over a southern headland, and there it was. So remember that they are driving, and then it says a headland. So you are driving, and then suddenly you start looking at the head of a mountain. The head of a land. So that would be la cabeza de una piedra, la cabeza de algo. So here is that they look at this headland, that it would be un cabo, una roca. And it says, there it was, the blue bay all dotted with shaggy step-sided islands. The house stood at the top of the beach. It was big and gray with orange lichen dappling its roof. So here we have a description of the house, but it has, and also the place, but it has, like a very funny way of describing it. So it says, let me just move. So we have here a picture that can help us to illustrate this. So it says, they came over a southern headland and there it was. So the blue bay all dotted with shaggy step-sided islands. So all dotted, it will be this. Dot, it's un punto. So all dotted, it would be like toda punteada, toda moteada. like motas. And it says here that it was with shaggy step-sided islands. Steep-sided. Shaggy, it will be, shaggy is despeinado, desgreñado. So it means that, like they have this grass and it is all over the place. Here you have, like the picture. This is the shaggy, like bush or, like the plants it has. So here you have the islands, and then it says, the house stood at the top of the beach. It was gray with orange lichen dappling its roof. So we have here the house, and then it says orange lichen. So that is, like a mush, like something it grows because of the humidity and something, and it has a peculiar color that is orange. I will put you an image right here, so you will see what is the orange lichen. And well, once you have it, that orange lichen, it is just, like all over the place, all over the roof. It's just there. Okay? So once they have described the house and they look at it, everybody's like, whoa. Whoa, like it's too old probably. Or like, whoa, there are so many things to do. And, well, it says, whoa, they all three said again. Oliver was pleased with his parents, sounded as thrilled as he was. He was, like excited. And it says, then he looked at them and saw that it was not the house that they were looking at, but all those scruffy islands in the bay. So, in this case, it will be, like... his parents are not looking at the house. Probably they are not looking at, or they are not thinking about having a very calm life. They are so excited because they have seen something they haven't seen before. And remember that they were a little bit sad because they thought there was nothing else to explore. So they are so excited because of the islands. And, well, it says, where have they come from? Asked his father. I don't remember them. Mom was rustling the map, was looking at it, was, like looking probably for the islands. There are not more here, she gasped, like, they are not more here, like surprise. So let's just move, and it says 9, 10, 15, that mother. So mother, it would be like murmurar, like he's impressed. He's like 1, 2, 3, like, oh, so many. That is mother. So they must be new islands, volcanic probably. On map. They are not in a map. Uncharted. They have never been discovered. And then it says unexplored. Nobody has been there, like in those islands in order to explore them. So Oliver's parents are so excited. Oliver sighed, like, here we go again, It says, he'd seen like this before whenever they heard of a banished city or a forbidden tomb. So it says just that his parents look the same every time they just found something interesting to explore. It says a banished city. So remember that banished will be something that disappears. And then it says a forbidden tomb. Forbidden, you cannot go there. So it says, still, he thought at least they can explore these islands from home. He looked happily at the house while Mom, with her eyes on the island, started the Explorer mobile again and took it screeching down the zigzag lane to the beach. So here, do you remember how I told you that it was retorcido? Well, it was winding. So here, in order to say winding, they are using a synonym that is a zigzag lane. That is the same, it's moving. And, well, it says here that Oliver's mother, she just started the Explorer mobile, and I guess it is also quite old mobile or something, because screech, it will be an onomatopoeia, guys. Onomatopoeias are words that try to describe sounds. So screeching, it would be rechinante, que rechina, like, I don't know, something like that. That will be screeching. So screeching down, remember that they are here, so they are coming down. So screeching down, lane to the beach. Oliver started unpacking at once. So, like his parents are so excited with the islands, but he's inside the house and he's just like, let's unpack. Let's just put everything, in its place. So it says, he walked through the big, echoey, dimly familiar rooms, whisking those sheets of the armchairs that had waited so long for someone to come and sit in them again. So in this part, remember that Oliver is already in his house. So in this part that it says he walked through the big, echoey, dimly familiar rooms. It's just that the house is, I guess, it's almost empty. And he is just, like walking and looking, like one room. He goes, like the kitchen, like, he just, like reviewing everything. So dimly means that he was just, like doing it, like vagamente, like fast, like I don't care. You are just looking. You are not looking for anything special. And well, it says whisking those sheets. This is something I guess that we have seen more in the movies because I am not sure that in Mexico we do it. But when a house will be empty for a very long time, the people usually cover furniture and cover important things with sheets in order to protect them from the dust. So everything is covered in Oliver's house and he is just, like removing the sheets, like moving them, okay? So it says, he ran upstairs, so he went to the second floor, to his room and bounced on the bed. So bounce, it will be he jumps on the bed. It says he loved his room already, the way the sunlight came into and made long golden stripes down the wallpaper. So this is a very romantic way to say that, it's describing how the light is coming in the room. It says, made long golden stripes down. So if you don't remember what is stripes, remember that a tiger and a zebra, they have stripes. Like stripes. And well, in this case, yes, it is describing the golden stripes of the sunlight. And we have it here. This is a sun stripe. Las tiras del sol, las tiras doradas de sol que bajan a través del papel tapiz. So it is just describing here. Here we have the golden stripes. That's why I told you that you have to pay attention in the pictures because you have details of vocabulary and also you can understand better the context. So it says here that he opened the window to let the air in and the singing and the cries of the gulls. So if you don't know what is a gull, here you have it. And it is a bird that usually we can find very close to the sea. And I haven't seen it in real life, just in movies, but I have seen that sometimes on social media people upload videos of these kind of birds that they are in the beach, that they are stealing food. Like someone is eating an ice cream and then a bird passes by and it's like, steal it. So that would be a seagull. If you don't know what is it, gaviota. So it says, Oliver called his mother and father. They were down at the sea's edge, ready to go off and explore the new islands. They stood in the shallows, waving. So here we have, the image that illustrates that. And, remember that Oliver is in his room. He opens the window. The air is coming in. And he is looking at his parents. So his parents, it says that they are in the shallows, in the sea's edge. So sea's edge and shallows, it's not the same, but they are referring to the same thing. So the sea's edge, it will be la orilla del mar. And then the shallows, it will be lo poco profundo. So at the end, the authors, they just want to say that Oliver's parents, they are very close to the seashore. Están cerca de la orilla. Okay, and it's very important that you pay attention to, like, to this. There is a word that it comes later on that is a dingy. They said that they are taking or they are fetching down the dingy from their car. So this is the dingy. Okay, it is like a boat, and well, it is a boat. We translate it in Spanish like un bote, una lancha, but it has a motor, it has an engine, so be careful with that. So, and waving, it is just, like wave. They were saying, hey, hey, so this. So let's just continue, and then it says here, the inflatable dingy toss between the... Did I already tell you where? Well, it doesn't say anything here, so it says here, their inflatable dingy tossed between them as the waves broke under it. Oliver, come with us. I'm busy, Oliver shouted back. Why don't you go and have a look around without me? I'll be all right. He sighed, remember again, like, He knew his parents loved him. It was just that sometimes he had the feeling that they loved exploring more. The little dingy's outboard motor drowned out the seagulls with its angry bee buzz as Mom steered through the surf. So here, well, we have the dingy here again. And, well, remember that the window is open. Oliver's parents are inviting Oliver to join them. And Oliver is like, no, thank you, I'm cool here. So after that, it says that the mom starts, like, how can I say, like turning on the engine of the dingy, and the engine, it's so loud, because it says here, like, no, 1 second, it says, the little dingy's outboard motor, so once it is on, drown out the seagulls. So, like the engine is making so much noise, it's too loud, that the noise is overlapping the seagulls. So you can just listen to the engine, the motor, not the birds, nothing else. So it is just describing here that the motor was so loud that he couldn't listen to anything else. And, well, it says here that, like her mom is driving the dingy, so she is just going, she's just doing this. She's going to the island, one of the little islands, and it says, then took off with a roar. So it says that, they moved a little bit around one of the islands, and then they stopped the dingy, and with a roar. What is a roar? The little, well, not the little, but the two sticks that you have in a boat in order to row. So it says that with a roar, she just was, like parking, kind of, And, well, let's just move. It says that here, like they are trying to explore the islands, and it says, Oliver brought his suitcase upstairs and opened it. Carefully, he set out his favorite things, some shelves, and on the windowsill. The windowsill, guys, let me just return to this page because it is better. This is the windows wheel. And now it is this little piece of wall, or, like something where we usually can put some stuff. In Spanish, we call it alféizar. So in English, it is called the windows wheel. So here we have, he arranged his books on the shelf beside his bed. He hung up his clothes in the cupboard. The bars of sunlight moved along the wall, and suddenly Oliver realized that it was quite a long time since he'd heard the outburst of his parents' voice. So in this case, he is so focused on, like fixing his room, like about doing his stuff. And then suddenly he realizes that he cannot listen to his parents. He doesn't hear them anymore. So it says he went to the window and leaned out. So remember that this is the window. So lean out, lean, it is recargarse. So lean out, se recargó hacia afuera. This is the window, so he did this. in order to look. So this is, like the window he put here, and he was just doing that. So it says, he leaned out, Deepwater Bay was desert, and the evening sun shone golden on the waters. There was no sign of mom and dad. The islands had vanished. There was only the orange-flavored dinghy washing back to shore up in the evening tide. So he couldn't see anybody, but the dinghy, and the dinghy was moving because of the tide. What is the tide? La marea. So it is just, like doing this, la marea, and probably the boat is just moving with the tide, okay? So let's just continue, and we start finally chapter number 2. So let's just say that it has been a very interesting introduction. We just knew that Oliver's parents disappeared. We didn't know why. Now we understand that it was because they were exploring, and those islands look suspicious. So let's just continue. It says, most people will be a bit alarmed, to find that their parents had disappeared along with a whole bunch of uncharted islands. Remember that uncharted, they are not explored. Nobody knows them. They may feel inclined. One second. They may feel inclined to call the police or the Coast Guard, or just run about shouting. Not Oliver, he was a Crisp. Remember that Crisp is his last name, Oliver Crisp? So, like, because of his last name, and he comes from a family of adventurers, he is just fresh. Cool as cucumber. Nothing happened here. And it says, and may stern... he was a Crisp and made of sterner stuff than that. So here, stern stuff, it will be, this is nothing. I have done worse things, more dangerous things. So this is nothing. He hadn't panicked when his baby carriage was carried off by an eagle on the expedition to the Forgotten Mesa. So it's explaining like, I am not scared. I have lived worse things. For example, that time my baby carrier was took off by an eagle, and we have here the image. Okay? And well, then it says, he hadn't lost his cool when his parents took him on the Elat bicycling trip around the crater of Mount Firebelly, but it's supposed to be an extinct volcano that yell while lava bombs bounce off their cycling helmets. So here we have at the back, like another picture that illustrates. And well, here is the eagle that takes the baby. And then here, remember that trek? I don't know if I explained to you, but trek means two things. So trek, it is just, like to walk, like to like a caminata. But also I discovered that there is a kind of a sport that is called trekking. That is riding your bicycle in not very, how can I say it, like flat ground, like in the forest, or maybe in a mountain or something. That will be trek. So they went to a trek expedition very close to a volcano. They thought the volcano was sleeping, was extinct, but then it erupted. And here, like you have some images, because it says that had yelled while lava bombs bounced off their cycling helmets. So bounce off, it is just, like jumping. So here you have the balls, the fireballs or lava bombs, and they are trekking, so they are, like in bicycle. So let's just move, and then it says, oh, well, here, there is more vocabulary. So after the volcano, it says, he had barely bat an eyelid when the bird stole his sleeping bag on the north face of Mount Rainier. So here, I'm pretty sure that you cannot understand very clearly this batted word. And, well, very easy. In Spanish, I don't know if you have seen that says, like, batió las pestañas, like. So, well, here is the same. Bat, it's a verb for batting, when you hit the ball. But also bat, it will be like batear. In this case, it is not with the bat, but with your eyes. So, like pestañear. We can translate it like that. So, it says, no pegó el ojo, casi no pestañeó, because a bird stole his sleeping bag. And then it says, he barely batted one now. Apenas si parpadeó, apenas si pestañeó. It says, just ran downstairs and out onto the beach, looking around in case his parents had come ashore with him noticing. So it says that, he was in the second floor, he was in his room, and then he just, ran downstairs, having the hope that he could, find his parents. So it says, Oliver pulled it further up the beach and wondered what to do. Then he noticed that there was still one island left in the bay. It was the littlest and the lowest and least interesting of them. The one his mom and dad had ignored when they went motoring off to explore the taller ones. Even from the shore with the low sun shining in his eyes, Oliver could see that they were not on it, but perhaps it held some clue to where they'd gone. He ran back to the Explorer mobile and packed a rucksack with useful things. Then he locked the house up and put a note on the front door that read, coming back. I think it's coming back. Oh, back soon. So let's just come back because here there are vocabulary that I want to explain to you. So, well, once, he ran downstairs, he was looking for his parents. It says that he realizes that there was an island. Still, there was an island, but it was very little, it was ugly, it was like, I understand why my parents didn't pay attention to it. But he says, oh, maybe there is a clue there. So when he says that he ran back to the Explorer mobile and packed a rucksack with useful things, is that he ran to the car, he grabbed a backpack, and he put useful things. What do you consider useful things? Maybe matches, maybe a flashlight, maybe water, maybe a map. I don't know. It says useful things, so it's very general. Then it says that he locked up, he closes his house, and he put back soon. That's it. So here we have that he scampered to where the dinghy waited and shoved it out into the sea again. So it says that he closed his house, he ran where the dinghy is, he jumps in and he tries to move it to the sea. That's it. That's what it says. And then it says, whap, whap, the waves. Whap, whap, when the waves. Whap, whap, guys, it is also an onomatopoeia, the same thing as screeching. And remember that onomatopoeia, it is a word that is trying to describe a sound. So in this case, it is like whap, whap, whap. It is describing the sound of the waves, okay? So it says, whap, whap, when the waves slapping its blonde orange nose. I am pretty sure that it is talking about the dingy nose because, Oliver doesn't have an orange nose. So it says, Oliver heaved himself aboard. He couldn't work the outboard motor because his arms weren't strong enough to tug the starter cord. So it says, remember that the dinghy has an engine, a motor. And his mom was, turning on and it was so noisy and everything. But here it says, Oliver, that he couldn't do it because he wasn't strong enough to pull the cord, para jalar usually they have like una cuerda, like un hilo that you pull it and it helps you to turn on the motor. Well, it is just saying here the same, that Oliver wasn't strong enough to do that. So it says there's no problem, but it says, but there were oars stowed neatly on the bottom boards. So he couldn't start the engine, but as I told you at the beginning, he saw the oars, that it will be the sticks to row. So this is row. When you are in a boat and you're moving the oars, you are remando. So in this case, it says the same. He found the oars and he started rowing. So encontró los remos y empezó a remar. He didn't take him so long to reach the island where he pulled the dinghy up on the sheltered shoreward side. Sorry, so he says that he arrived to the island and he didn't leave the dinghy in the sea just like that. No. He pulled it out of the water and he put it on the seashore. It says the shoreward side, so in the land. Then it says, the island was just as small as it had looked from the beach. Clumps of grayish grass sighed softly as the sea wind stirred them. So steer in this case, it is remover. You can use this verb in the kitchen when you are stirring your soup or your atole or something else. But in this case, the authors are describing, let me see. No, you don't have it here. So let me just come back. So here they are describing the islands. Do you remember at the beginning when it says that all islands, they have, like these, one second, let me see, what is the word? The word is shaggy. So they have this like shaggy grass that looks like a hair. Well, here is the same. It says that in the island, he could see that, it says clumps of grayish grass sighed softly as the sea. So it is like a mountain that has gray grass and the gray grass is moving. No? Slightly softly as the sea wind stirred them. So it says, se mueven despacio conforme el viento sopla sobre esto. So it says solamente que es como muchos mechones, muchos montones de pasto grisáceo que se mueve lentamente, suavemente por el viento. Okay? So it says, there were snaggles of driftwood festoons. Oh, well, snaggles of driftwood. Snaggles, it is a word that means chueco. And driftwood, it is madera. But it is like madera seca. I don't know if you have been in the beach and you have started a fireplace. Because, like the wood you probably can find in the beach is not like the normal wood. So it is just, like pieces of wood. And they have a very peculiar shape. So I may put an image so you can, like illustrate yourself. What is it? So, and then it says the festoons of, like weave. So it says just, like there are weave. What is weave? Hierba. A hierba, a length of all tarred rope. And then it says, hay un pedazo de cuerda. Hay cuerda. And well, tarred means, or tar means alquitrán. In this case, it's just like una cuerda de plástico. But in order not to say, a plastic rope, it's just a tarred rope, that it will be una cuerda that is, I don't know, like covered with this alquitrán, or it is stronger, but it is alquitrán. It is plastic. So we continue, and it says, there was a ramshackle heap of twigs balanced on the pile of boulders that there were the highest place on the island. That was all. So there was a ramshackle heap of twigs. So here, ramshackle, it is an adjective that means desvencijado, viejo, like, well. And it says a heap. A heap, it is a tower, like it is not a tower, like a mountain. You have here and you have a bunch of, in this case, twigs. Twigs are ramitas. So the authors are trying to describe this. This is a ramshackle heap of twigs. So it is un montón de ramitas desvencijadas, And it says on the pile of boulders, like que se balanceaban. And boulders, it will be like peñascos, like it's a rock. So it says at the top of the rock, there was a pile, there was this nest, and it was balancing. Se estaba moviendo. And it says that was it. It was just that in the island. It took Oliver less than a minute to walk right across the island to the far shore, where she stood looking out to the sea. All his hopes of finding clues faded like the foam that kept washing around his toes and melting into the wet sand. So this is a very romantic way, but it's describing that, well, he crosses the island, so he starts here and he crosses it in less than a minute. And then it says that he stood here and he was looking at the sea. But, like his hopes disappear because it's like, oh, I won't find my parents. And disappear just as the foam, la espuma, that it was around his toes, alrededor de los pies. So it says here, todas sus esperanzas se desvanecieron como espuma que continúa lavando o que continúa lavando o estando alrededor de sus pies y que se derretía para irse con la arena mojada. So it is, I guess it's a romantic way of describing this, but it's just what it says. Mom, he shouted, Dad. The echoes came back at him from the cliffs around the bay. Echoes, but no reply. Mom, he shouted louder still. Dad. Oh, put a sock in it, won't you? Well, put a sock in it, it's just como, ponle un calcetín adentro, ponle un calcetín a eso. So if we try to translate that into Spanish, not literally, it will be more like, cállate, like cierra la boca, something like that, okay? It's not very respectful, but it is. So it says, oh, put a sock in it, won't you? Grumbled a creaky voice behind him. Grumble, it is se quejó. A creaky, we have seen it, like the creaky house and this and that is rechinante, que rechina. So it was a very, very like sharp voice, como muy aguda. And it says, some of us are trying to sleep. A pair of very blue eyes was glaring at Oliver over the brim of that twig heap on the island's crown. It says, a pair of very blue eyes. Very, it will be small. Very, very small blue eyes. And was glaring at Oliver. So they were watching at Oliver over the brim. The brim, guys, it will be la orilla. Like I don't have anything to illustrate it, but it will be la orilla. So, like the bird is looking at this and it is like, oh, put a sock in it. So it's looking at the eyes. Okay, this is the brim of the nest. So it's like this. And it says, the heap was a nest, like it was a nest. And the eyes belonged to the bird who owned it. But birds don't talk, protested Oliver. Parrots do, the bird said. Not really, not properly, Oliver protested. And anyway, you are not a parrot. Indeed, I am not. The bird sniffed. So I stood in its nest and spread its enormous daring white wings. I am a wandering albatross, the Medea excellence. So you may call me Mr. Culpepper, and now you had best get back to shore or you will be a wanderer too. So, remember that we already saw one type of birds, that is the seagulls, the gulls. Well, in this case, it is not a gull. It's an albatross. An albatross, it is an albatross. The albatross is the merengue in Spanish. But those are big, big, big birds. And it says, I am a wandering albatross. Wandering is errante. Like it changes place. It is not in one place forever. It changes. So it's errante. And it says that its name is Mr. Culpepper. So it says that, Mr. Culpepper is telling Oliver, like, hey, you should move. You shouldn't be here because, like the island, it's wandering. Está vagando. So you will be lost. And it says, like, what does that mean? Oliver asked. Tsk. Like, tusk, it will be like, kind of, The bird said, don't they teach you youngsters anything these days? Not all islands stay where you put them. Some move about. Here 1 minute, gone the next. This is one of them. That's why I nested on it, of course. I'm not stupid. Why go flapping about the wall when I can just roost here and let the island do the wandering? So in this case, Mr. Culpepper is just telling him like, hey, are you dumb or what? Don't you know that there are islands that they move? Not all islands, stay quiet, stay in one place. So that's why I am here. I don't like traveling by myself, so I do the island to do that job, is what he's saying, okay? So it says, Oliver looked down at the island between his feet. He saw rock, sand, grit, dune grass, and grounded down seashells. It didn't look as if it were going anywhere. So it says that, after he received the information, Oliver was like, moving? How? He saw the rock, he saw everything, like the sand, the rocks, it says ground down seashells. Ground down, it will be like seashells, conchitas de mar. But ground down, it will be que ya se están deshaciendo. It didn't look as if it were going anywhere. How do they move? Who cares? Shrugging his wing. Shrug, it will be like this. I don't care. Like this. So where are they going? Who knows? Said Mr. Culpepper. But all the others gave gone already, so this one won't stay much longer. As he spoke, the island shuddered. Shudder it is que se mueve, like se estremeció. Small stones spill and rattle trickling down. Hop in your boat and be off with you, said the albatross. So, well, in this case, the island start, like moving, and then rocks start, like coming down from, I guess, from the rock where the bird is. And the bird is telling Oliver, like, hey, run away. Hop in your boat. Hop, it will be like salta. Hop is saltar. So salta en tu bote y vete. And well, it says, no, said Oliver, not me, I'm staying. Wherever those islands went, I must go too. My mom and dad were on one of them, you see. That noisy people, said Mr. Culpepper. Suit yourself, but you're better off without them, if you want my opinion. So here is like, I don't go anywhere. And then the bird says like, Oliver is like, oh, I'm not going anywhere because my parents just disappeared. And the bird is like, oh, that noisy people I saw before, as you wish, like, suit yourself, it will be more like, como quieras, como tú quieras, depende de ti, like, suit yourself, guys, like, como quieras, como lo desees. Because he's looking for noisy people, so it's like, como quieras, pero te aconsejo que mejor los dejes. So that is suit yourself. Then it says, Oliver wasn't listening anymore. The island lurched, almost throwing him off his feet. So it says, la isla se movió, and then Oliver was, like, oh, and almost he fell down. So he crouched down, se agachó, and he curled his finger and toes into the sand like roots, clinging on. So, como se agachó, and with his feet, he did this. So, clinch, it will be aferrarse, like this. And it says, like, curl his finger and toes into the sand. So, hands and toes, hands and feet into the sand, and he did this in order to grab him. It says, like roots, como las raíces de un árbol. How are the raíces? Like this. So, that is clinch. And, well, it says, the island sank a little, water bubbled whitely around its edges. Then it turned slowly around and started to move out of Deep Waters Bay, following the golden pathway that the evening sun had painted on the waves. So, the island is moving, and Oliver is there. That's it. So, as soon as he was used to the movement, Oliver ran around to where he left his boat and made sure it was still safe above the tide line. Looking back, he watched the shore fall swiftly behind, a very shard of the sunset reflected for a moment from the window of his own bedroom. And he felt very sad that he would not be sleeping there that night. He almost launched the boat and rowed back to the beach. It was not far. It was not too far. Not quite, not yet. But there would be no point on going home without mom and dad. Without them, it wasn't really home at all. So, like the island started moving. Once he got used to the movement, he ran to see, the dinghy, if the boat was safe. And then he was doubting, like I can go home. I can just row to home again. But there's no point in doing that because, like I will miss my parents. So that's why he decided to stay in the island, and it seems that adventure just, like began. So here, like we have the island. This is, like the great grass I was telling you about. This is the nest. Here we have the dinghy, the boat, and here is Oliver. And as you may see, the island is very little. So it says, what's that you're eating? Asked Mr. Oh, okay. So he turned his back on it and watched the sun dip down. So dip down, como ir hacia abajo, dip. What do you do with a dip? Like, bam. So dip down into the Western Sea and ate a sandwich. What's that you're eating? Asked Mr. Culpepper. Tuna mayonnaise. Mayonnaise, said Oliver. Albatross snorted. Newfangled mock. Newfangled? Well, in this case, like the bird is not very friendly. So it is like, mocoso. Something it is trying to say here. Newfangled means como que apenas te salieron los dientes. Fangs, like colmillos. So newfangled, apenas te salieron los dientes. And mock it is porquería, suciedad. So it is telling him like mocoso. That's it. He spread his wings, like open, and soared out over the ocean in the twilight, dipping down to snatch a fish out of the waves. So he just do this, and he went like this in order to fish a fish. Okay, to catch a fish. So it says, Oliver sat watching the empty sea, hoping for a glimpse of the other islands. He watched until it grew too dark to see anything else, and then curled up in a grassy space among the rocks, put his rucksack under his head for a pillow, and slept. So he ate the sandwich. He was just, like looking around. Everything started being dark, and he says, like, well, it is time to go to sleep. So remember that the rucksack is just like a bag, so probably he just put it, like, he used it as a pillow, and it's just that. Then it says, all through the night the island kept moving. Oliver slept soundly, soothed by the island's steady motion on the snore of the sea upon its shore. So it says, toda la noche durmió sin parar, and it says soundly soothed by the island, sino que fue arrullado por el movimiento and also the snore of the sea upon its shores. So, like the sounds of the water, like, how can I say, like touching the land, when the waves break. So that is, like here is describing here. Then it says, then through his dreams he heard another noise. Doof, it went, and ow! Oliver sprang awake. Spring, it is un resorte, guys. So in this case, they are using resorte as a verb. So he sprang, saltó, se despertó, like a resorte. The sky was palest gray, and few less stars were fading. A wind from the west whispered the graces. Bother, said someone nearby. It wasn't Mr. Culpepper. The albatross was sleeping still, safe in his scruffiness with his head stuffed under his wings. Mom? And Oliver hopefully. Dad? He clambered over the rocks to the beach. There on the shore sat a mermaid, rubbing her nose. Who put this island here? So, here is just that Oliver woke up suddenly because he heard noise, and then he thought they were their parents, but he just found a mermaid. And a mermaid that it was, like sobbing. Se estaba, like sobando, like doing this. But it says in his, I don't know if nose of head. Where does it say? It says nose, rubbing her nose. So sobándose la nariz, like haciendo esto. So it says, who put this island here? She asked. Not me. He had never seen a mermaid before. In fact, he had thought they were just in stories. But then, he'd never seen a movie island or a talking Diomeda excellence until yesterday. So he wasn't as surprised as he may have been. The mermaid seemed to be about his own age, and she was starting to get a black eye. So here, it was a mermaid, and it says like, well, mermaids are not real. But wait a minute, like birds that talk are not real either. And moving islands are not real either. Oh, well, they weren't. So it was the very first time he saw them. That's why it's like, well, anything was real until yesterday. So that's it, And well, we have here the mermaid with the black eye. Remember the black eye, un ojo morado? And it says, there I was swimming along minding my own business, she said, and suddenly there was an island in the way. It's danger to shipping. That's what it is. It's a wonder I wasn't knocked unconscious. So, like the mermaid was swimming and suddenly, bam, she hit the island. And it says, have you seen any other islands? Asked Oliver. My mom and dad are on one. I'm looking for them. Sorry, said the mermaid. I didn't even see this one. My eyesight isn't very good. I hardly see you. Come over. You are just a blur. So guess what? The mermaid is almost blind. It says, like she cannot see Oliver very clear, and it's just blurry. What is blurry? Borroso. So she cannot see him very clearly because probably she needs some glasses. Oliver went closer. The mermaid frowned. This is frown. Again, this is frown. Fruncir el ceño. So she frowned at him with back blue eyes. Well, she said, you are an odd-looking character. Oliver thought that she seemed pretty rich, coming from someone who has at least half fish, but he was a polite boy and did not try to argue. Instead, he said, my name's Oliver. So they are having a very short conversation, and it is like, you look weird. Well, the mermaid didn't say you are ugly, but kind of. And Oliver said like, well, I am not ugly, I am not different, you are different. But because Oliver is very respectful, he didn't say anything, he just thought it. So let's just move, and then it says, mine is Iris. So we have Iris the mermaid and Oliver. So you don't know of a place called Farside Cove, do you? I was told there's a beach of Titian there. That's where I was going when your silly island got in my way. So the mermaid is looking for a nice doctor, for an optician. And she is trying to arrive to a beach. So it says, this was not the first time the nerd, okay, this is a word I learned recently, so, give me a moment to pronounce it. Nearsightedness. Nearsightedness, it would be this eye disease that is called myopia. So nearsightedness had got Iris into trouble. Apart of anything else, it made other mermaids laugh at her. Well, it was one of the things that made them laugh. All her sister and cousin were beautiful creatures with eyesight as clear as their singing voices, and then liked to sit on rocks with comb in one hand and mirror in the other and sing eerie songs at passing sailors. So here is that, because Iris is a little bit blind, she doesn't look really well, other mermaids laugh at her. But other mermaids, it says that they sang eerie songs while they are sitting in a rock with one mirror in a hand and a comb in another one, a comb, un peine. But it says here that, the eerie songs. So eerie is espeluznante. So they were singing eerie songs at passing sailors. Sailors, marineros, marinos. So, cantaban canciones espeluznantes a los marinos que pasaban. Perhaps it was because mermen were all rather dull stay-at-home sorts who didn't much like mermaids company and preferred to lounge about in their grottos reading newspaper and discussing the latest football results. So it says, probably mermaids do the singing thing because men are boring. Los hombres sirenas son aburridos. Why? Because they like staying at home. They like staying in their grottos, en sus grutas. and reading newspaper and discussing the latest pinball results. So pinball, guys, it will be like football, just that mermaids, they don't have feet, they have a fin. So the fin, it will be la aleta, and pinball, it will be like aleta ball, like football con aletas, like something like that, I didn't know how to translate it. So it says, at any rate, the mermaids enjoyed the thought of all those sailors going home and telling everybody about the lovely mermaids who had sung to them. So here there's nothing important, but just, like the mermaid, the new character, and she is so blind that she was asking for directions to a walrus. What is a walrus? This is a walrus, una morsa, okay? And then it says, she told it. From a distance, you look just like a little brown boat with a man sitting in it. So, from far, the mermaid was looking a boat with a guy, like in the boat, and that's why she asked him. So let's just move, and then we have more. So we are here. So here it says that, it is the boat, and it says, say the walrus, you need to get your eyes tested, dear. And I told her about the beach of Titian and Farside Cove. So it was the walrus who told the mermaid about the doctor. And it says that Oliver has also heard about the doctor, but he heard because, everybody was laughing at him. It says, he remembered his mom and dad talking about the dirty old man who wheeled his barrow of ice shard, instruments, and glasses down the path to the cove each day and sat there on the sand waiting for mermaids. So it says that Oliver has heard about the doctor because his mom and his dad told him that there was a guy who every day was moving his stand, his puesto, to the beach in order to help mermaids. So it says, they laugh and shaking their heads because they didn't believe in mermaids. Oliver looked hard at Iris and decided that there was no way he couldn't believe in her. Oh yeah, because everybody was laughing at the doctor because they said, oh, mermaids are not real. So that's it, okay? Then it says here, Farsing Cove is quite close to Deepwater Bay, he told her, but they must both be miles and miles away from now. The island is moving, you see, it's been moving all night. So it says that, of course it has, said Iris. It's one of the rambling isles. So rambling isles, it will be que se mueven, que deambulan. The rambling isles. They are not really islands at all. They are alive, although they are made of stone. And it says they wander the oceans and they are always getting mistaken for ordinary islands, but really they are more like very big stony giants. So it says that it's not an island. It's a rock that is moving, and it says a big stony giant. So it says, where is it going? How on earth should I know? You really do say the strangest things. I expect it's just rambling around collecting stuff. That's what rambling isles do. But I suppose you could always ask it. So it says, Oliver and the mermaid, they are having some conversation about the islands. And it is like, well, this is not an island. At least not a normal one. This is a rumbling one, a wandering one. So remember the wandering que se mueve, errante, vagabundo. So, okay, so where is the island going? And the mermaid say, I really don't know. You should ask it. So it says, Oliver look around, bewildered, ask it. So he ask rock and stone and grass where they were going? Well, he could ask them, but how could he expect them to reply? So Oliver is not so surprised of this, but it says okay, if I ask it, how he will reply to me, how he will answer. Well, it, because it is not a person, it's an island. So how will it answer? So it says, oh, I'll do it, said Iris wearily. She slapped the nearest rock as hard as she could. Hello, she shouted. So it says the movement of the island changed. It's slow and turned from side to side. Mr. Culpepper woke with a squawk and demanded to know what was happening. So like here they are talking about how to talk with the island, and the mermaid is like, hey, in a rock, I am talking to you. So the island, it is moving like this, no side to side, like this. And the bird, Mr. Culpepper, who was sleeping, just, like, wake up. He wakes up and he says, with the squawk. So with the squawk, it will be with the sound they made, like, el ruido del pájaro, I don't know, the squawk, un graznido. And it says, like, what is happening, So it says, slowly the island lifted from the sea. There was a rush and gurgle of falling water draining from its edges. It rose cliff high, and the waves rolled past it far below. Oliver went to its ragey edge and looked over. So here it says that the island lifted from the sea, se levantó. And there was a rush of gurgle of failing water. So se levantó, and then, like a lot of water start coming down, como escurrir. From the edges, de las orillas. It rose cliff high, and the waves rolled past it far below. So la isla se levantó, que al final, las olas pasaban and nothing happened, So Oliver se acercó a la orilla, and it says, he saw that the island was really just the top of a vast stony head. The grass was its hair, water ran down its face, limpets stuffed its cheeks, seaweed and old carrier bags were tangled on its bushy eyebrows. Two big eyes peered up at Oliver. So it says that the island, the head of the island was just where Oliver was. When the island just, went outside the sea, he could see its face. And it says, the grass was its hair. Then it says, water ran down its face. El pelo era el pasto. El agua corría por su cara. And then it says, limpets stuffed its cheeks. Limpets, guys, it's an animal. It's like un caracol marino. And it says that he had a lot of caracoles in his cheeks, in his cheeks. Seaweed, algas de mar, and old carrier bags, bolsas de plástico, were tangled in its bushy eyebrows. Se enredaron en sus cejas pobladas. And it says, two big eyes peered up at Oliver. So, dos ojos grandes vieron a Oliver, miraban a Oliver. So let's just change. I think we almost finished our chapter, but we have the picture that illustrate everything I just told you now. So here we have the big eyes that peer up. Then we have the seaweed, las algas. And then here the limpets I told you, like los caracoles that they were stuck in its cheeks. And well, that's the island. It's alive. And it seems that it's time to finish our session because it was just chapters 1 and 2. So the adventure just began. We are just having the introduction of the characters. I think vocabulary it's quite easy, but still you have some words that it may be complicated, but remember that you always will have your vocabulary list and this video in order to put you in context. So I hope to see you in our session in order to discuss what will happen with Oliver, with the mermaid, with Mr. Culpepper, or with the island. So let's just stay here. And well, I hope you continue having an excellent reading. And meanwhile, remember that I will see you next Saturday, the 27th at 2 p.m. in order to have our discussion of these very interesting 2 chapters from the book Oliver and the Seawigs. So let's say goodbye for the moment. And well, see you later. Bye, guys.